Got it.
This is not the way to your ship.
Do you believe Grace could have done something to cause humans to turn on her?
Like what?
Like becoming too overbearing?
Humans would have been given no reason to question my bearing.
It's one of my theories, yes. This must be the main entrance. I'm guessing the landing pad is on the other side of the big doors?
That's correct, Addie. Though the pad appears to be buried under meters of ice.
What are these for?
They appear to be terminals for processing visitors to the spire, but they no longer store any useful information.
This looks Olympian or Neo-Egyptian. The triangle must represent the spire. Beautiful, don't you think?
Does it matter if it's beautiful?
That's another way to see it, sure. Cool statue. Or maybe it's a mobile. Do the little moons move?
Perhaps at one point in time, though I'm not sure of the relevance of that.
Just curious. Is this an airlock?
Yes, the spire beyond this point can be pressurized. I assume your suit has limited oxygen?
I have about 5 hours left.
That's quite a risk you're taking. Were you assuming station life support could be restored?
Well, can it?
I believe so. But for reasons I'll never understand, life support is controlled by empathy processing. I suppose they had to give it something to do. I will enable that programming now.
Hello, Addie.
Hello. So you're going to get oxygen going?
The process has already begun, my friend. No rush. If you let me accompany you along the path ahead, I can balance the environment to your life force as we walk.
Oh, here we go.
Wow. How are these plants still intact?
They must have been subject to a very sudden drop in temperature while still alive.
What is this place?
Remaining connected to one's natural world is important for a person's well-being. A fitting starting point for those entering the structure, don't you think? Do you recognize any of the objects in this section of the garden? I'd love to know what you think of them. For the calibration process.
Is this a lantern?
An expression of our certainty in the flow of time.
How so?
A craftsman spent months carving this remarkable device based on the absolute certainty that after day, night would follow.
All right, I follow. Am I doing this right?
You are doing splendidly.
I'm sorry. This cannot possibly be necessary.
Temperature preferences can vary considerably between individuals. Careful calibration is essential.
How about above freezing and we proceed?
It's really up to Addie. If you don't wish to consider more objects, I can set the temperature within a survivable range, and you can move on to the flower bed next to the stairs. Do you see them, Addie? Life in perfect stillness? The flowers defying the hoarfrost, as you have defied the emptiness of space to arrive here.
I guess.
Which one are you?
Pardon me?
Which one of these blooms best embodies your spirit?
Seriously?
It's important I know these things in the balancing of illuminatory ergonomics.
Fancy words do not make this any less idiotic.
Go ahead, Addie. There are no wrong choices. By all means, take your time if you need it.
This looks like Pacific Revival. Part of an archway, maybe. That's a pretty big piece to ship all this way.
So it must be important, even though it's no longer holding up a roof.
I guess its purpose has changed.
As can happen with people, too.
What's the point of this, Addie?
I'm an explorer. I'm here to learn.
Go ahead and choose a blue, Maddie.
This statue could be outer colonial. It's simple, but it's quite beautiful, I guess.
And why would its beauty matter?
People like pretty things.
Ah, a human truth spanning thousands of years. You're not a planner, are you?
I've been told that. This must be Terra Classical, or made in the style.
The ancient Greeks boarded their ships and set out to explore the world, discover its gods, and conquer its monsters. You are an explorer, Addie. But are you here to meet a god or to slay some beast, I wonder? What would you say these objects have in common?
They're artifacts from long before the building of the station.
The things we leave behind say something about us, don't they?
What a society leaves behind is all we have in understanding how they lived.
But we're interested in what you were willing to leave behind in order to come here.
Haven't left a whole lot, to be honest.
I believe that's all I will need to set the perfect temperature.
Finally.
You can move on to the flower bed next to the stairs.
I have no idea what this is. A weapon or a tool of some kind?
It's a device for working metal. Why do you suppose it's in this garden, Addie?
It could be a symbol of hard work.
An industrious future? Or a laborious past, perhaps? Go ahead and choose a blue, Maddie. Go ahead and choose a blue, Maddie. Go ahead and choose a blue, Maddie. Go ahead and choose a blue, Maddie.